By the end of this video, you're going to understand what every beginner must do when starting out in the trading industry and how you can get a head start so that you make less of the common mistakes that the 90% of traders make when starting out. What's up, everyone? My name is Zane, and thank you again for tuning in to another video. If this is your first time on the channel, essentially my channel is about my trading journey, my entrepreneurship journey, and me just keeping it as raw and real as possible. The ups and the downs, the things that I've learned, the experiences that I've gained, the lessons that I've gained, and just sharing them with you so that you can also understand what it's like. And maybe if you're in a similar situation, or if you've been in a similar situation in the past, my hope is that you can relate to it, and of course you can understand that you're not alone in this journey, right? We're all on this journey together, and essentially why I wanted to make the channel, guys. So anyways, with that being said, let's get straight into it. You're gonna make mistakes. You make mistakes in trading, you'll make mistakes in life, you'll make mistakes every single day, maybe, right? That's part of who we are. We learn from our mistakes. Now, does it mean that we only have to learn from our mistakes, or can we learn from other people's mistakes as well? See, that is where smart work comes in. That we want to start learning from other people's mistakes as well, so that we're not making problems bigger than they need to be. So if you look at the most successful people in trading, we look at them and we want to understand, okay, what is it that they've done which is different to other people? Because we understand that 90% of traders lose 90% of their money in 90 days. So what did that successful trader do to make sure they weren't part of that statistic? We need to see what they've done. We need to see their habits, their behaviors, their thought patterns, their strategies, their structures, their processes. We want to understand all of that so we can model it, right? And so that leads me to talk on to tip number one, which is essentially finding a mentor. You want to be able to find a mentor. Now, this doesn't always have to be, a mentor which you are in physical contact with, that you can actually call and ask questions to and whatnot. It doesn't have to be that. Because I think the mistake, well, at least I definitely made, was that I thought a mentor, I had to have someone I could physically call in as like a coach, right? I thought I had to have that. Now, that is really good to have, and we should strive to have that. But look, in terms of financial positions as well, especially when you're trying to get a coach, sometimes coaches can cost a lot of money. Maybe in terms of us not being resourceful enough, we're not being resourceful enough, so we're not actually going out to look for a mentor, or we're not able to attract one. Look, whatever it is, your mentor can be someone on YouTube. It could be someone in a trading community you're part of, that you maybe never met the founder of that community, but you consider him your mentor. It could be a book that you've read and you just understood everything in that book, and you consider that person to be your mentor. Mark Douglas, right? He's the guy who wrote Trading in the Zone. I consider him to be a mentor because I've consumed that book quite a few times. I wouldn't say like hundreds of times. I mean, probably 5 or 6, 7 times. And I've wrote notes on it, and I've reviewed those notes, and I've really gone into detail with this book. I almost feel like he's my mentor, right? So I consider him a mentor for me. Tony Robbins, I've gone to so many of his events. I consider him a mentor. I've studied his content like mad. I've applied so many of his teachings into my life. I consider him a mentor. Bob Proctor, I consider him a mentor. Specific trading individuals who I follow at the moment, or it's really just one person for the strategy, I consider him my mentor, right? So find a mentor, or find a group of mentors that you can consider being part of your team, right? So when you sit down and you understand, okay, psychology, who's the best person I can learn trading psychology from? Most likely Mark Douglas, right? Cool. Trading strategy, I'm going to get onto that in a bit, but like who can I go to let me try that again, guys. Who can I go to study trading strategy, a particular trading strategy? You find someone for that. Who can I go to study about keeping health and vitality in my body so that I'm able to actually function on the charts properly and be focused? Right, cool, let me go to that person. So you start finding different people. I've got some for trading, I've got some for psychology, I've got some for health, right? Again, and I don't know all these people in person, right? But I still consider them a mentor. And so this is what you need to do. This is step number one for every beginner. So step number one is finding a mentor. You can find a mentor through courses, communities, YouTube, networking events. What else have I got down here? Academies, right? So there's different places you can find mentors to help you out. So this now leads me to talk on to step number two, which is, or tip number two, which is finding a strategy that suits your personality and suits your schedule. Because in terms of personality, guys, look, there's different types of trades, right? I'll cover them very briefly, right? So first of all, you've got the longest term, which is position trading. That's, looking at the monthly and the weekly scale, and entering on a daily and, holding out for, days and weeks on end. You're hard, you're maybe taking maybe a trade a month at maximum, right? That's for someone who literally is very, very busy in their life and they hardly have time to be on the charts. Now, I highly doubt that's you, but if it is you, that is a strategy that you can use, or a specific style. The next one is swing trading, right? So swing trading is taking a trade which you hold for 2 to 3 weeks, right? You hold out for larger time frame profits. You're looking at maybe the daily and the 4 hour and perhaps the weekly as well. So the one after that is actually short term. Now, short term is something that I do, which is getting into the market and being out, before the end of the week, right? So I might take a trade on Tuesday. I'll probably be done by Wednesday, Thursday. After that, you've got intraday, which I participate in every now and then if the market's quite slow. Intraday is in and out of the market on the same day, within a couple of hours, 2-3 hours max. Then you've got scalping, which is, 5-minute, 10-minute trades on the smallest time frames you're analyzing things. So depending on your personality, you will fall into one of those brackets. And so you got to just think, all right, what suits me? What kind of trader am I? You have to think, that's for you to figure out. And once you figure that out, then you can start looking for strategies that suit that. So you're not looking at a scalping strategy, then a swing trading strategy. You can cut out so much bullshit and then start honing in on, okay, I feel like I'm a short-term trader. I feel like I'm an intraday trader. Great. Let me start finding intraday strategies that work very well. Let me start finding short-term strategies that work very well. And you can start sifting through that. Again, you're not going to land on the perfect strategy straight away. This is why I'm saying you're going to make mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to fuck up. It's okay to lose money. That is part of trading. Think about it as a business expense, right? When businesses first start out, they take some time to get going. There's sometimes people lose money when they first start businesses. They'll lose money in their first 2 years until they start becoming profitable in traditional businesses. So think about that as the same with trading. You put in money, you're experimenting, you are testing the waters, you are testing your new business model. Some business models work, some don't. But that's how you learn and that's how you grow. Which is why I always like to say that you should treat trading like a business, like a multi-million-dollar business. And it will treat you like you're earning $1 million. Now, the third and final step, which is part of this blueprint, is developing your psychology. Now, you're probably thinking, fucking hell, man, like, you've really not been talking about what I want to hear. I wanted to hear the strategies. I wanted to hear the risk management and all that kind of stuff. Guys, bear with me, because I'm telling you right now, developing your psychology is going to help you do all of those things. In 2 minutes, I can tell you, find a strategy that works well for you, have a risk management process in place, have a trade management process in place. Risk management, risk 1% on every trade. You lose 2 in a row, drop that to 0.5% until you start making your money back. Then you can bump it back up to 1% again. Your trade management, know when to put stops at break even. Know when to have profit targets so that you can start partialing out. Always take partials. Strategy wise, I use smart money concepts. I trade maybe 2-3 times a week, if that. I look for the highest probability setups. That's really it, right? And like I said, that's 5%. 95% is something else. It's your psychology. Specifically, how we can deal with that, I will get into in just a minute. But developing your psychology is key, because look, you think Paul Tudor Jones, one of the most successful traders on the planet, you think he was able to become successful just by working on strategy alone? Look, there was a point in his life where he was already extremely successful. He had a hedge fund. He was managing so many people's money and trading, but he was trading loss after loss. He was getting loss after loss. And this was him being a well-experienced trader, 10, 20 years by now. And he needed help. So he went to Tony Robbins. And Tony Robbins helped him with his psychology. Tony Robbins didn't know anything about Forex trading, but he didn't need to because he helped Paul Tudor Jones with his psychology, with getting his psychology back on track so he feels like a winner again. And as soon as that happened, he made like $500 million for his clients in a day. Paul Tudor Jones. In one day. All because he rewired his brain to become psychologically fit again, to feel like a winner and to get back into those markets and start winning. Psychology is 95%. And so we want to understand that we got to start working on our mindset. The thing is, most traders leave out the 95%, which is focusing on their mindset, which is why they lose. They're trying to look for the perfect strategy, and they're continuously looking for the perfect strategy when they're not wanting to change themselves, when they're not wanting to work on themselves. That is the most important part of trading, working on yourself. Because one thing I've realized on this trading journey so far is that it's a beautiful blessing in a way, because I never thought it would be like this, that trading allowed me to learn more about myself. It allowed me to learn about my deepest, darkest secrets that I didn't know I had, and it allowed me to develop myself into becoming a better person. And I'm so grateful for that, because it's one of the reasons why I fell in love with trading, because it's allowed me to grow as a person and develop as a person. And I respect myself more because I've been able to do that. And you will respect yourself more once you are able to grow and develop your mindset, develop certain habits, understand the habits, the behaviors, the rituals, the thought patterns, and the processes of successful individuals, and you can start applying that into your life. That's developing your psychology, that's developing your mindset. You know, it includes reading books, includes studying those successful people. It includes going to those networking events, being around those communities, studying those YouTube videos, studying whatever content there is, and understanding, hey, look, whatever I can do to develop my psychology, I will do that. You know, if I need to, one thing for me I'm working on is that I need to work on developing my psychology around money itself. How should I treat money? How should I manage my money, right? I realized I wasn't that good with managing money, that I've not been, and I've been neglecting that. And so I need to start taking action and understanding, hey, you know what? I need to start managing my money properly. All right, cool. Let me start managing my money properly. Every single month, X amount's going to go into investments, X amount's going to go to my fund money, charity, this, that, and the third. I'm going to start doing that, right? I already got plans set in place for when my next set of income comes in. And so for you, you want to be doing the same thing. It's developing that psychology, right? It's developed so that, you know, when you get onto those charts, you're managing risk. You're finally managing risk properly. You're not over leveraging. You're understanding profit targets. You're following the process. Developing your psychology will allow you to follow your process. And if you follow your process, the result will be that the market will reward you with profits. If you give yourself to the process. Once you give yourself to the process, the market will reward you with profits. You give yourself to risk managing. You give yourself to following the trading strategy that works. You follow and you give yourself to following the trade management process and strategy that works well. You stick to those things. You stay disciplined. The market will eventually start to reward you. And coming back to that 5% and 95%, I've got a chart or a diagram right here. I'm just going to see if I can get this out onto the camera. I might need to come to the side here. Right, so this circle represents your brain. The 5% is your conscious mind. The 95% is your subconscious mind. When you're born, there is no conscious mind. It's 100% subconscious. There is no conscious mind that's filtering anything out. And so everything that you take in as a baby goes straight into your subconscious mind. If you're around someone who's a smoker, you might pick up the habit of becoming a smoker. You're more likely to pick up that habit of being a smoker. Why? Because you observed your mother or your father or your uncle, whoever, smoking, right? You're around someone who has short temper and short patience, you might grow up to essentially have that same behavior. Why? Because your subconscious mind as a young child took that in. Everything in your external environment growing up was put into your subconscious mind. Everything. all the external stimuli, everything that was around you as a kid, your environment that you were brought up in, your parents, your family, your friends, your teachers, your school, the things that you learned at school, the environment you were around, the people that you were around in regards to just strangers out in public, whatever it is, the TV that you consumed, the TV programs that you consumed, the toys that you played with, everything as a kid leading up to 7 to 10 was going into your subconscious mind. As you approach 7 to 10, that conscious mind starts to come in. And as that conscious mind gets built by around 10 years old, there is a line which I've drawn in the middle. That line represents a filter that your conscious mind starts to filter things out. And that 5% is a conscious mind. And that conscious mind allows you to store information, right? When we take in knowledge, when we're learning new things, that's all going into the conscious mind. I think it's the neocortex. I think it's the biggest part of your brain. Bear with me, right? I'm not going to get too scientific, but all I'm saying is that all of that knowledge goes into your conscious mind. It doesn't go into your subconscious mind. You take in all this knowledge, it's all in your conscious mind. And this is what people are doing. This is what new traders are doing. They're trying to learn all these different strategies and all the best strategies and all these indicators. It's all going into the conscious mind. Yet, if they're impulsive, I'll bring this up again. It's all going to the conscious mind. But if they're impulsive, 95%. If they're impatient, 95%. If they think they don't deserve wealth, 95%. If they're brought up from poverty and they feel like that their money was always in lack all of their life, 95% is a subconscious belief. And so it'll be struggling for them to make money because they are what? There's so many things in the 95% that they haven't tackled yet. For me, I was impulsive. I had short temper. I had short patience. I had instant gratification. That was all 95%. I didn't realize I had. And so I was trying to learn all these different strategies that would allow me to make, finally a strategy that could allow me to make money, but it never happened. Why? Because I was focusing on the 5%, not the 95. Until I started to focus on the 95%, then things started to change. Right, I finally went from over leveraging, and I think I blew about 20 or 30 different accounts. I finally went to starting to manage my risk. I finally understood, I'm quite impulsive. Didn't realize that. Now that was a subconscious pattern or behavior that now got brought to my conscious mind, and now I was able to understand, shit, that does not serve me. I need to learn to let that go, and I need to replace it with more patience. And so I started to build patience as a habit. An example of that is that I always felt like I had to be in the markets every single day. As soon as I saw a trade opportunity, I have to get in right now. I was like, like a fucking addict, right? As soon as I saw the trade opportunity, I had to get in. But this time I understood. I was like, you know what? I need to practice patience. The best way for me to do that, let me sit for 2 weeks and watch the market every single day and not take a trade. That's practicing patience right there. And that helped me a lot. So it's one very small example of how I was able to bring a subconscious behavior that wasn't working for me or that wasn't serving me to my conscious mind, learning to let that go and putting patience in its place or putting something empowering in its place. And that's something you can start to do as well. So, guys, I'm going to end it there. I didn't want to make it too long. And I do hope that you found a lot of value from this. Again, that last topic, you can tell I was very passionate about that last topic, and I am, because that is what's helped me. At this point in my life right now, I'm not extremely profitable or anything like that yet. However, I'm very, I guess you could say, I'm really on the way there. I'm becoming more profitable as we speak, right? And the progress that I've seen is insane in my life, and it's only a matter of time until FTMO accounts come through and six-figure funded accounts, and I will be sharing with you when that happens. But obviously at the moment I'm still practicing my trading plan. I'm back testing that daily, so I ingrain it through repetition. Anything that you want to get into your subconscious mind, do it through repetition, right? It's the best way. If you repeatedly use one strategy over and over again, eventually it will become part of your subconscious mind. And it's like driving, you just do it. It's like walking, you just do it, you don't think about it. And that's how it will be with trading eventually as well. So that's what I'm working towards right now. I can feel that happening for myself and implementing risk management, trade management. And for you, whatever it is, find a strategy, find a mentor, find a strategy, develop your psychology, work on your psychology, your strategy, and especially your mentor or mentors. will help you do that. It will help you develop your psychology. So with that being said, guys, I appreciate you tuning into this video. Hope you got a lot of value from it. And until next time, much love, peace out, and good trading.